So we're back. So obviously we're back at home, back in New York. Luckily the sun has been out. It's been a few days since I got back in town, so just wanted to chill out for a few, and it was really cold the past couple. When I say really cold, it really wasn't even that cold. It was like 50, 55. To me, that feels pretty cold. For those eagle-eye viewers, you might have noticed we got ourselves a new little nose piece right there. That is the Concept Z design. So it has a nice little vent in it to kind of, you know, get some airflow to the radiator. There are a couple things that we're gonna go ahead and get involved and get done today. I have actually a lot of things on the to-do list. I'm already planning another trip back to Florida, guys, because just the past few days I've been here, it's so much different. It's like lonely up here, you know what I mean? Down there's so many people around. The vibe is different. It's just really cool down there. The energy is on point, and up here it's just a little bit quiet and a little bit lonely. But we're gonna make the most of it, guys, as always. A lot of content. We're going back to the daily grind. So hopefully you guys have been enjoying the content so far. But yeah, I just want to let you guys know that we have made it back all right, and the grind is just about to get started. I'm super proud in this car, man. Over 3,000 miles. And you know, no issues, like for real. The only problem, the cam angle sensor went out. You know, it's just a faulty part. The feed line for the turbo, that kind of blew up on us on the way there, but that's just because it was a cheap part. And I mean, unfortunately, I have to admit, man, we kind of screwed up when we did when we dropped the transmission. I didn't really realize the actual problem. Shout out to a few of you guys out there who actually pointed it out. I think I was just so like, I don't know, I guess I just wasn't looking at the problem right in front of me. The throwout bearing, I think, never was the issue. It's actually the pilot bearing and like the pilot bushing. We definitely have to drop the whole transmission again and motor. So, but that now, instead of having a lift, we got to do it back in the garage, which I don't know. It's not entirely fun at all, but you got to do what you got to do. But yeah, man. I mean, apart from those couple issues, the car did really well. We built this, you know, on our own in this freaking garage right in here, and the fact that she made it there and back, you know, with no serious issues, I couldn't be happier, man. She did really well. There are definitely a few things we have to go ahead and improve on, but I'm ready to get started and make this car as good as it can be. I still have this car, don't you guys worry. It's still here, and we still have a lot of plans. We have a lot of things on the agenda, man. So many things to get done. We have a couple issues to address. Currently, I think the first thing I do, because the motor's still hot. And by the way, if you guys haven't noticed, I mean, obviously we need to paint it still, but come on. I like that, right? It looks pretty good. It gives it a little bit more kind of aggressive look up front. Also, I wanted to run this by you guys. Let me know what you think and how you would feel about seeing this sort of content on the channel. So, it was actually supposed to be this weekend, but they actually postponed it to next weekend because it's like still freezing outside, like some days. I wanted to take the car to like a quarter mile to the track and kind of see what it can do. You know what I mean? It would be cool to kind of get like a start and just work our way up, grow and get quicker and quicker. I think it'd be super cool. So if you guys would be interested in that kind of content, please say something. Comment, toss a like. I just want it to be kind of obvious that, you know, if I go ahead and film that sort of content, that you guys are gonna be stoked, enjoy it, want to watch it, and kind of see like the progression, the tweaks, the changes, and just keep on getting faster. So let me know how you guys feel. I think it'd be super cool content, and it'll be something that I'll be able to go to the track like once a week, maybe twice a week, and yeah, I think it'd be super cool. So let me know what you guys think. Next thing, I just went ahead and tidied up a little bit of the wiring up in here. Still gotta go ahead and clean the whole inside of the car and whatnot, but I was just thinking like, hey, like if I'm gonna go ahead and drop this whole motor and transmission pretty damn soon anyways, I don't really feel like taking the turbo off right now, as you know, because I'm gonna do that again when I go ahead and do the whole process. So I just kind of realized that my line is loose. It's very hard to show you guys, but it's like the actual fitting right off of the drain flange. So I'm gonna see if I can just remove the compressor housing. It should give me enough room to get my hand through here with a wrench. That way I don't have to take off everything and do it twice within like a few days. So and by the way, like, it kind of sucks because I wouldn't have been able to fix the problem the first time around because I didn't have the parts, and I obviously was in Florida, not at home, so it's not like I could have just left my car there and been okay with it. I needed to get my car in and out as soon as possible, so it kind of sucks, but at least now we know that when we take it off here, we'll be able to go ahead and do it properly and actually replace what was wrong, because the sound is very much back. Very much so back, and it's very frustrating. So I'm gonna go ahead and rip off this compressor housing, and I hope we'll be able to go ahead and tighten up that fin. But I hope we'll be able to tighten up that fitting once it's off, so let's give it a shot. Alright, I guess now we wait and check for leaks. And here's another kind of a problem. So obviously we have our 240 and we have our Z. These are our two cars, and I honestly told myself it's probably not the best idea to go ahead and buy two project cars, just because in case, I mean, this one is temporarily down for a while. We'll talk about this car. If you guys want to know and get a little update on the 240, let me know and we'll talk about it really quick, or at least we'll start maybe working on it or whatever. But and then we have our Z. So this is kind of like our main, I guess, daily, but the problem now is we have issues with it, so we are going to be out of a car. So, you know, it's a tricky time, man, because I really need a reliable daily. Like, I really just honestly do. Having these two cars, it's awesome. I'm super happy. I'm blessed. Like, I don't take it for granted, don't get me wrong, but man, it would be nice just to have a car that's just normal and it just works. It's not, you know what I mean? Like, so I'm hoping that I'm gonna get back on this daily grind and really start pushing content out for you guys. So hopefully we can kind of grow the channel, get views up a little bit, so I can maybe get a car, hopefully sooner than later, that'll allow us just to be able to get to and back wherever we need to go without any issues, AC, that kind of stuff. And but yeah, I love having these cars, but it does get to a point where it's just like, oh man, maybe it wasn't the smartest idea. But I did it for the content. But obviously, you know, we need to be practical as well. If you guys want to see some content on the 240, it's still here. We still got it. We are doing the 5.3 swap. The RB is actually still in there. Long-term goal RB25, if all goes well. But for now, we have a 5.3 that we want to go ahead and put together. I don't really have a budget for that build right now, so that's kind of why it's just chilling. Alright, so it's tomorrow, and we have the Z in the garage. So, yes, for those that are not aware, we are literally about to pull this freaking JZ out again for the reason which we should have, I guess, fixed and solved in the first place. I thought that our problem was always the throw-out bearing. It actually wasn't. I think it was this bushing right here, this pilot bushing. You saw that we pulled this thing. Obviously, we're at the parents' place, by the way, still here. We pulled this thing in Florida to replace the throw-out bearing, and we had a lift. So it took me about 2 hours to pull this JZ and everything with a lift, and that was with some buddies and some help. So we are solo dolo today, and we're back at the shop, well, at the garage, which we don't have a jack. And I just realized I left one of my jacks at home. So let's get this car in a point, because I have to drop the motor. I can't pull it out from top. You guys already know this, so I'm just going to get to work, man. I really don't even want to do it, but I can't stand having this problem with this car. I just cannot stand it. We got to fix it. This is the only way, so you got to do what you got to do. All right, so where this took me 2 hours, it is now taking me 3 and a bit hours to get to the same spot. As you guys can see, I'm doing a different route, like a different method. I'm using the hoist to kind of lower the motor through. Yeah, man, it's just super sketchy. All right, guys, so it is the next day. We got a little busy last night. Obviously, as you guys can see, motors out, transmissions out. I found my problem. The reason why I didn't film too much was, first off, because you see, I just saw me do this like a week ago. It's also like in the high 30s today, so it's freezing. Like, it is so cold out right now. I don't know why. Please, someone take me back to Florida, please. So this is like the pilot bearing that kind of goes into the flywheel. This is a new one, obviously, that we got. Shout out to Autosports Engineering for hooking it up. Well, hang on, let me show you guys. Mine is currently toast. Do you guys see that? I mean, don't worry about like the outer edges, because we were trying to pry it out. So I'm gonna go ahead and work on taking that out. It's a huge pain in the ass to take out, because it's like forcefully inside the crank. And if it were easy to come out, it would just spin and come out when the engines are running. So, okay, so I got it out. The little technique with these things, because they are pretty damn hard to get out. I just used 2 screwdrivers kind of on each side and kind of wiggled it, shimmied it out. That's really the only way I was able to do it. As you can see, it's seen better days. Looks like the actual brass bushing part was pushed through. Because you guys can see on this one, I mean, it's pushed through a little. I mean, actually, it's not pushed through at all. It's kind of flush. But, like, damn. Like, I'm kind of worried about if I put this all back together, Obviously, we hope that'll be fine, but what caused this? You know, that's what I'm trying to figure out. What caused this problem? I'm gonna go ahead, I guess, clean up the inside of the crank, get all the shavings out from it tearing this apart, clean it all up, and then prep it for the new one. Bushing goes on first, and then the flywheel. Oh man. So you can see I got the flywheel all back on. So what you want to do is put the actual bearing in first, the bushing, the input shaft bearing, whatever. Press that in first. I use a piece of wood and a hammer.
Now that's what I'm talking about. How to build a car. It's broken.
So you don't kind of mess it up. That'll align the flywheel, and that's it. There you guys have it. Looks way better. Now we'll get the clutch on. Alright, so as I'm still trying to get this clutch in, I literally have like little motivation currently because, I don't know, I mean, we're here, it's kind of messy, I'm kind of over this whole deal. It's freezing, not to mention. Zach's with us, however, so we do have company. Yeah, we just kind of emptied out, well, actually, most of our fluid emptied out on our floor. So there's that. So we're gonna go ahead and remove the adapter plate itself, just because I want to see how the bearings are on the input shaft before we go ahead and toss this all back in, because I would hate to go ahead and do all this and actually have internal damage to our transmission, because clearly this whole process to move the transmission it's kind of thorough. So I, you know, figured I'd put Zach to work a little bit, and he's out here. What's going on, Zach?
I broke it.
So first off, strip the bolt.
That's not my fault.
I mean,
that was not my fault.
It's debatable.
It's all back together. For some reason, the one long bolt didn't want to go in its home.
But you got it.
It's in. Yeah, I just wanted to play games all day.
So it only took him 15 minutes to put 6 bolts in, but we're not gonna judge him on that.
It wasn't 15.
He drives a Honda, so we gotta take it. We're gonna be easy on him.
It wasn't 15 minutes.
I mean, it was maybe like a 13-minute job.
30.
It's fair. Oh, okay.
30.
But yeah, so we weren't able to take the actual adapter plate off. I was spinning. I mean, just spinning this input shaft on its own, it's super smooth. Man, we're burying tools in here too, dude. Look at this.
Dude,
look at this. We have a buried breaker bar.
I knew where they were.
And I mean, it feels good. Like I'm really not too worried about it. But just know, Zach, if there's a problem,
it's always my fault.
It's on him. But yeah, it's all back together. All right, it's well into the evening. What time is it? It's 9:30. We just wrestled getting this transmission onto the car. We got one of these crappy transmission jacks from Harbor Freight. I definitely don't recommend it because they kind of suck. But it's on. All I gotta do is tighten it, but honestly, it's literally probably 40 degrees out right now. And we're not about it. So tomorrow, I think we're gonna go ahead and finish, at least get everything bolted back in. We should have the motor back in tomorrow, so that'll be good. If we start it, technically that should happen. Just depends on how much of a pain this decides to be. So yeah, but we're done, man. It's way too cold, like I said, so I'm gonna finish up back up tomorrow. So it's a new day. Ryan is here. We've had a bit of a eventful start of our day, I guess you could say. Let's start at the beginning, shall we? So I realized I got on the transmission, like I was tightening it all down. We had it all bolted up last night. It was late. I was tired. We just wanted to get out of here. So we got it all bolted up. I tightened everything down, and I then realized, like, I forgot to install the clutch line, and you have to do that before you bolt everything up because there's just no room. I'll kind of show you guys how it's set up. So right there, that's where the clutch line goes. So I just wasn't able to get a wrench in there to tighten it up after it was all bolted together. So at first I was like, you know, maybe I can just like cut a little access hole, like a 1-inch hole, to be able to get a wrench in there. And then I was like, I mean, yeah, that'll work, but I don't know, like, for some reason I had like a gut feeling that we just should rip it off and just try again. I then realized, I put my finger, I don't know why I decided to check, but I checked the actual bearing that we just put in, and the brass fitting was pushed in. So, that pretty much was the problem that we had the first time around, and that's why I think it chewed up that bearing and just kind of gave us that noise at the end that we were experiencing. So the plan now is we're just gonna cut the input shaft off. I've been talking to the guy who builds this plate. He's had many people do the same. They've never had issues. So I guess that's kind of the only way we can kind of fix this right now. It is what it is. Yeah, so I guess, I mean, the good thing is we took it off, so at least I was able to figure out that there was a problem. So everything happens for a reason. As much as it sucked at the time, now we won't have, at least we shouldn't have the same issue down the line. Fingers crossed, but let's get the grinder out. This cutoff wheel is a monster. Yeah, I'm sure people are gonna get mad that I did this because it seems so wrong, and I honestly thought the same. Are you still filming? Yeah,
we're still going.
But I mean, it seems like this is a kind of a common thing. I don't know why, but it seems like this is just literally like the guy who makes this kit was like, yeah, I have like shops that install this for me, and they're like, they just cut the end of the shaft off. I don't know why. But I kind of have no other choice because I need to get this car back together like today. And the thing is, like, if I got another bushing in there, what's saying that it won't happen again? You know what I mean? So we're gonna cut it off. Worst comes to worst, if we still have issues, I'll put like a Z32 transmission on it and we'll call it a day. Like I'm just at that point where, you know what, we're gonna send it. It's gonna be okay. And we'll just play it as it goes. All right, it is 9:30 and everything's pretty much bolted up. The only thing left is drive shaft, intercooler piping. Got to redo the radiator setup, so we're gonna be working on that probably tomorrow. But at least the main portion of it is all complete. Sorry, this is not really the content I was expecting to film, but it is what it is. What are you gonna do? It's just the way she goes. We have to fix it, man. This is what we do, and we're still trying to be on that daily upload grind. If I miss a day here and there, I do apologize, but expect a video every single day, guys. The car is getting along, man. I actually have some future plans, actually pretty soon, some little upgrades to the motor that I think you guys are gonna enjoy. I'll keep you guys posted. There's definitely a lot going down. Stay tuned. If you guys want to subscribe, go ahead and hit that button down below. Hit that thumbs up, and if you guys enjoyed, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take it easy.